One further back to Lashed, and then Millanova on the outside. Fuji Sea Rocks is back on the rails. One to Fuji Dancer. She's 8 off the lead. Macedon Lady is right behind her. She's about 10 off the lead. Desert Traveller over on the rails. Make Me Strong is getting a long way back with Shalang, then Unzip, and Sopranos last of all. 1,200 metres left to go in the Crown Oaks. Hyrogram, she's going for an all-the-way win. Hyrogram leads by a length and a half. It's Houdini sitting second. Antiqua's one away third. Bullabagazi 3/4 of a length away fourth, followed by Lashed. She's in a lovely position, Lashed. Outside of her is Millanova, then Fuji Sea Rocks in the rails. Fuji Dancer's not that far off. The Macedon Lady giving them 8 lengths as they head up past the half mile. Desert Travellers next on the inside, followed by Make Me Strong, and then Shalang, Unzipped, and Sopranos still last of all. Approaching the home turn, 650 metres to go. Hyrogram by a length on It's Houdini. Third is Antique. Bullabagazi fourth. Lashed is about to peel out 4 wide to start her run. Unzipped is starting to go forward as well. Macedon Lady is into the clear now. She's moving up on the outside of Lash. She's putting in a big dash. They've got 400 metres to go. Hyrogram in front. Bullabagazi's a danger on the outside. Lashed is trying hard to get to them. Antique is still there in the centre. Macedon Lady only plodding on the outside. Bullabagazi goes to the front, 200 metres out. Lashed is coming after on the outside. Bullabagazi a half in front of Lashed. Lashed is trying hard. Bullabagazi's giving plenty. Bullabagazi's hanging on. Bullabagazi has won the Oaks. Bullabagazi first, Lash second. Third home, Antique. Fourth, Fuji Dancer. Then Macedon Lady. She failed to stay. Next in was Millanova, Hyrogram, Make Me Strong, It's Houdini. Further back, Fuji Sea Rocks, Soprano, Shalang, Unzipped, and Desert Traveller, the last one home.
$15.30, and it's a great result for those that followed Sean in the betting ring. Bullabagazi told us at the start of the telecast, and he's been all the way through. Chris Muntz, his second Group 1 win in Melbourne. The other one, the Melbourne Cup on Jezebel. It's not a bad double, is it? It's a fantastic double. How strong she was, Bullabagazi, today. She was able to hold off Lashed up the straight. She'd got to Hyrogram and got to hit Houdini and had both of them beaten. Lashed was going to try and come at her. I'm going to mark Macedon Lady here, the favourite. She didn't run into the places. There she is with the arrow. But Bullabagazi had them here. Lashed probably the only danger. Antique doing her best. Macedon Lady running in. She was never quite happy. She's finished in 5th place behind Fuji Dancer, who was on her inside. But Bullabagazi for Ron Quinton, a former outstanding jockey. I dare say this is his biggest win as a trainer. She just runs out a bit there, but she seemed to have Lashed some measure, and Lashed again a minor placing. Let's go down to Ron Quinton, who will be absolutely stoked. He's with Peter Donegan.
Ron Quinton is over the moon, and you just said something. That was a Neville Begg preparation, that one.
Yes, Neville followed preparations with his 3-year-old fillies very much like we did with her, and I learnt that off him. And he rang me this morning and wished me luck. You know, we had a great association and jockey and trainer, and he was the first one to give me a ring this morning, but brought a fresh horse on the scene, and she's pulled it out today. Gosh, it was a terrific staying performance, Ron, because there were a couple of challenges in the straight, but she was going as well as any of them on the line. Yeah, I thought Lash was going to get her for a couple of strides, but this Chris Muntz, he's a great distance jockey, isn't he? You know, he tends to be a hustly, bustly rider, but he gets them to stay. And it was a great ride, and she had a perfect run. Enjoy the moment, Ron Quinton. Congratulations on the Group 1 victory. Thanks, Peter. Thank you.
And Chrissy Muntz, Chris Bullabagazi, had a lovely run all the way, mate, didn't you? The speed was nice. It's a nice tempo, Johnny. A little bit surprised when Hyrogram led, but it worked in my favour. I had a lovely run, went off the fence 4th, and gee, she let down good. Ronnie Quinton's done a great job with this filly. She came down here. She looked a little bit unlucky the other day, but today she made up for it. Well, the other day, Ronnie sort of said to me, look, ride it a bit quiet and see if you think it's going to stay the trip all right. So he had the blinkers off, and we did that. And she hit the line better than anything else in the race. So we were very confident today. I thought she could win. Yeah, and when Lash was going to look like it was going to get to, but she fought back hard then, didn't she? Oh, she's a good filly. It takes a lot. They might have got to her, but I don't think they would have got past her. But what about the 2 group races you've won in Melbourne? You've won the Oaks and you've won the Melbourne Cup. It's not a bad record. No, they go all right, they're these Group 1s, eh? Yeah. Congratulations, Chris. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, mate. Hello, buddy.
He's wrapped. He did the job, didn't he, Chris Muntz? He really did. Bullabagazi, she's come so solid. Neville Begg's had success in this race before in the Oaks. Ron Quinton paying a tribute to him today, but It was a competitive Oaks. The favourite was never really happy. She missed the kick a little bit, Macedon Lady. Hierogram surprised everybody by leading. Lash has just run up to her so consistent form that she's had all spring. And I guess Fuji Dancer has 2 in 4th place.
Sure.
Where one has been, the other's been just behind. But this is the fresh horse. This is the new star. The one that if I'd said to you a month ago she'd win the Oaks, you'd say, no, not this year.
When she won her last race at Kembla Grange in a Class 4, you wouldn't have thought so, but she's been building her form all through the spring, and obviously the staying trip is her forte. Chris Muntz has got a fabulous record in staying races. He just knows how to relax those horses and keep them for that one last run. She did run out. Chris is confident that she didn't interfere with the second-placed horse, and that even if she did bore out a little bit, she was going away in the end.
Had the classic build-up, didn't she? The 1,000 guineas and then the Wakeful, came into the 1,000 guineas nice and fresh. Neville Begg done this over the years with some of his terrific fillies that have won this race, and well, she's been able to do it. Macedon Lady went the other way. She went to the Amy Vars. It hasn't been the way that has been so successful. Northwood Plume's the last one to do that in about 1995. So who knows? I mean, it's always easy to be wise after the event, isn't it?
There's Ronnie Quinton giving the mare a pat. The young man behind is Mark Podgornick there in the foreground, son of Floyd Podgornick, who raced in those colours so successfully. They've been great colours. And Ronnie Quinton there, just giving the filly a great pat. She deserves it.
Well, the sky's the limit for this filly. She joined some of the greats of the past. The good thing about her, she was strong at the end. You feel like she's a staying horse, don't you?
Yes, remains to be seen where the class of these fillies goes. Are they top-class racehorses, or are they just a good bunch of fillies and she was the best of them? But, hey, you can only be the best on the day.
And for the owners, she's as good as Far Lake right now, and they're with Pete Donegan.
Good run on the weekend.
There's Chris Muntz being interviewed by Rob Gaylard here at the track.
He's one of the smallest jockeys at the track, Chris Muntz. He's very, very short and a very solid little bloke, very strong in a finish.
And what a day for him. I think Pete was getting involved with the owners there at one stage, but they're also excited they might have left him for the moment as Chris Muntz comes in to get onto the scales.
Of course, they don't weigh the whip and the hat. That's not included in the weight.
OK, it's a chance now to go down to Peter.
And I can tell you, these owners have just been going ballistic for about 5 minutes or so. Guys, what sort of feeling is that?
Fantastic. Absolutely over the top. Highly recommend it.
I thought you were all going to somersault out of the grandstand when she went past the line.
We were at the Lone Ranger. I nearly fell off when Sydney Swans made the grand final in '96, and today was almost the same.
Gee, there's some famous colours there, the Podgornick colours.
Oh, absolutely. Proud great to see them back in the winners' circle.
What a combination.
Yeah, he's been a great jockey, Ron Quinton. He's had that wonderful association with the fillies and now a Group 1 winning trainer, eh?
Awesome.
Great
awesome
for Ronnie and great for the horse, and Ronnie set it for this 6 months ago and really put his head down and made sure we're going to get there, and there was plenty of other fancies. No one to talk much about the Buller until today, and well done to Buller Borghese.
Yeah. When does the party start and when's it going to finish?
It started 2 hours ago, and it's just now there won't be too much work tomorrow.
Well done. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
A couple of hours ago that party started. Neville Begg, we talked about Sandy's Pleasure one in '87 when Jim Cassidy rode it, but it's Ron Quinton's day. Ron was one of the best jockeys that Sydney's ever had. He had a fabulous run. The correct weight, it's correct weight 9, 3 and 7. And this filly's going to help put Ron on the map. He's had some success in Sydney, but I reckon this is just about his biggest win. What a win for Buller Borghese, Ron Quinton and Chris Muntz. Back with the totes. Those Podgornick colours, Floyd and Lorraine Podgornick had Florentino's, a famous restaurant in Melbourne, for so many years. Centro carried those colours. The Freedmans had wonderful success with that, a 3-year-old. And today it's Buller Borghese with Chris Muntz and also Ron Quinton. So we do have correct weight. Let's check the final dividends on the Crown Oaks.
Number 9, Buller Borghese, $15.30 and $4. 3 Lashed, $2 and 7 Antique, $7.40. Quinella, $44.70. Trifecta, $2,096, and the Exacta, $106.70.
So yet again another trifecta in the 2000s as we go down to the presentation for the Crown Oaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the noise from a certain section of the stand here this afternoon was deafening as the connections realised that Buller Borghese was the winner of the VRC Crown Oaks for 2002. To begin the presentation, please make welcome the chairman of the Victoria Racing Club, Mr. Andrew Ramsden.
The Honourable Rob Hulls, Minister for Racing, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Crown Oaks Day has grown to become the biggest and best ladies' party in Australia. It's quite amazing that we even have horse racing. Well done, ladies. We enjoy the innovation, cooperation and enthusiasm as Crown has worked with the VRC over its 8 years of sponsorship, which has seen Oaks Day crowd grow from 50,000 to over 100,000. What a wonderful win by Bulla Bagazi. And congratulations to all the owners, the trainer Ron Quinton and jockey Chris Muntz. As we all know, Crown is the largest entertainment centre in Melbourne, and during this magnificent time, Crown looks after our local, interstate and overseas guests in the finest Australian tradition. Thank you to Rowan Craigie and Peacock and to all at Crown Casino for growing this day into the largest fashion extravaganza in the Southern Hemisphere, no doubt the world. I am now delighted to welcome Anne Peacock, General Manager Communications, Crown, to present the trophies to the connections of Bulla Bagazi. Thank you.
Minister Hulls, Chairman and Committee of the VRC, Lord Mayor, Lady Mayoress, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. At Crown, we are extremely proud of our reputation as a total world of entertainment, from the very best in restaurants, the very best in shopping, and the very best in live entertainment. We enjoy a wonderful association with the VRC and thank them for that. What a thrill it is to once again be sponsoring this magnificent race, undoubtedly the greatest race for three-year-old fillies in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for making Crown Oaks one of the happiest and most successful days on the spring racing calendar. On behalf of our Chairman, James Packer, and Chief Executive, Rowan Craigie, it is indeed a great pleasure to present to the winning owners a trophy to commemorate and celebrate their success in the 2002 Crown Oaks. Congratulations, and representing all these magnificent owners, Mark Podgornick, congratulations.
Chairman of the VRC, committee members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me enormous pleasure to be here today to represent the owners of Bulla Bagazi. This has been an absolute dream come true for all of us. Most of us are first-time horse owners, and this dream wouldn't have been made possible without the effort and hard work put in by a number of people closely associated with the horse. To our trainer, Ronnie Quinton, mate, you're a legend. You're a master jockey and you're a master trainer. Thanks, Ronnie. To our strapper, Sharon, she's done such an amazing job since Bulla Bagazi's been in Melbourne and has just ensured that she was just spot on for today's race. Thanks very much, Sharon. To our jockey, Chris Muntz, you positioned her perfectly and she came home beautifully, and we're so happy to have you on board and look forward to a future association. Thanks very much. And finally, I'd also like to thank our bloodstock agent, David Lamont, for choosing the horse out as a yearling. He sure did make a great choice. And to our friends and family, we look forward to celebrating with you later tonight. Thank you.
He was a magnificent jockey and has now proven himself as one of the best conditioners of horses. Please congratulate the winning trainer, Ron Quinton.
Mr. Andrew Ramsden, members of the VRC committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard to explain, but it's one of the best thrills I've had in racing, particularly as a trainer. I had a lot of thrills as a jockey, but this has got to equal one of the best thrills I've ever had. I'd like to thank Crown for sponsoring the race. They're a great part of racing, and it's lovely to win it in their name. I'd like to thank all the owners, a great bunch of blokes. I'm sure their party will go on for a few days. These guys, it's their first share in a horse, and what a great thrill it must be for them, as we try all the time to find good horses, and it's just so hard. But they're all real good fellas, and I'm family friends of Mark and Andrew and Lorraine. I want to thank David Lamond for selecting this filly as a yearling. He saw something in her that he really liked, and we saw a lot what we like today. I'd like to thank Sharon. Sharon's been down here with the filly and Lady Kay, and she's done a superb job looking after the two fillies, or the filly and the mare. And I'd also like to say a big thanks to all my staff at home, my wife Margaret. It's all a big team effort. Overall, thank you very, very much, and I doubt whether I'd ever get any better thrill. Thank you.
Well done, Ronnie.
And now to the successful jockey who rode a magnificent race to get Bulla Borghese over the line to win the 2002 Crown Oaks. Chris Muntz, congratulations.
Members and committee of the VRC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what a great thrill to be able to win a Group 1 Oaks for a trainer such as Ronnie Quinton is certainly a great honour. It's very hard when you come down here from Sydney to be able to sort of pick up and get decent rides, but I'm glad that Ronnie's had enough faith in me to give me the opportunity, and I know that I believed in myself and knew that I could do the job well enough. To all his owners, thanks very, very much for entrusting me with the ride on her. They're a great group of people. They deserve every bit of success they get, and hopefully now this is the beginning of a long time in the industry. To the sponsors, Crown, thank you. Without your sponsorship, no doubt that race would be a lot less for it. To all the people that turned out today, well done. Back up again on Saturday. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Yes, well done. Ron Quinton won this race as a jockey in 1980 on November Rain for Neville Begg. That's that connection. And today he's won it as a trainer. Bulla Borghese winning, Chris Muntz the winning jockey. Let's have a look at the lineup now for the Group 2 $250,000 Emirates Classic.
Number 1, Falvalon, Alan Russell. 2, Mystigic, Karen McAvoy. 3, Intelligent Star, Danny Nikolic. 4, Belle de Jour, Craig Williams. 5, Spinning Hill, Patrick Payne. 6, Choisir, Glenn Boss. 7, Planchet, Darren Gauci.
Plenty of smiles down here in the betting ring. You were tipping Bulla Borghese.
Yes, Pat, I had a decent result on Bulla Borghese.
A very good result. OK, now let's have a look at the Emirates Classic for the best sprinters in the land. Spinning Hill, the informed Spinning Hill, has opened up yours for theirs, but it's just got out of touch, hasn't it?
It has. I'm going to take a set against a favourite here as well, set against Spinning Hill. I'm going to go with the bottom 2, Choisir on top from Planchet.
Well, you're getting very good odds, Planchet. It is the outsider of the field. On the each-way line is Falvalon, Choisir, second favourite. All the rest of them inside double-figure odds. So it's shaping as a great race, but the favourite at this stage, Spinning Hill, just a touch better than yours for theirs.
And full race totes now for the Emirates Classic. 1, Falvalon, 6.20. 2, Mystigic, 13.80. 3, Intelligent Star, 12.10. 4, Belle de Jour, 9.40. 5, Spinning Hill, 2.10. 6, Choisir, 4.50. And 7, Planchet, 16.70.
So $2.10 for Spinning Hill. She's trying to have a grand slam of the Weight for Age sprints this spring. It's the 1,200 metre start and a small field, and they're all likely to come to the outside. So we've seen a lot of 1,200 metre races here, but Choisir's drawn the outside, and he and Mystique alongside him are probably going to lead the charge over to the outside fence.
That's true. They'll go straight to the outside rail, those two horses, and they'll lead them up. And Spinning Hill will sit off the back of them, I think, as will Falvalon. And then it'll just be a matter of who's strongest over the last bit. Spinning Hill really needs a strong pace. She does, because she likes to sit off the back. If they sit up early and sprint away, she mightn't be able to catch them.
Have you gone cold on Spinning Hill? It seems that a few people around the place have.
I have. I've gone a little cold on Spinning Hill, and I'm going to go with the good Queenslander. He's a good boy, this Falvalon. I really like him. I thought he was a little bit crooked his last start. He'd had an inoculation for an injection, and he wasn't at his best. So I think he can atone today. Sean Bartholomew's gone with Choisir, who's very unpredictable. Look out if you get up next to him and he turns another act on like he did on Saturday. And Graham Sampiri with Spinning Hill.
OK, so nice mix there. Small field of 7, but 3 different selections. Time now to go to the fashions on the field with Elise Mooney.
Here we are at the 40th anniversary of the 2002 Maya Fashions on the Field. Ladies' Day, Oaks Day, the best day of all. Now, Sophie Mitchell's from Maya, and she knows what it takes to be a winner. Sophie, tell me.
Well, I think the winner of Classic Racewear is all about the total look. It is the coordination of the total outfit, the appropriateness of the day. It's from the hat to the dress to the bag to the shoes. And I think you can see, Elise, that the reason why we've got today's winners is for that reason.
Indeed, and we have Arabella, who is the winner of Classic Racewear. You have won $30,000 in prizes. What will you do with it?
I've got no idea. I've never even thought of having that much money in my whole life, so I'm very, very excited.
And what do you think it takes to be a winner?
Look, I think you've really got to do your own thing and have fun. With this dress, I really loved wearing it, and when I picked it, I thought this is an outfit that I really felt good in. I think it's more about going there and having fun and doing your own thing, and if you're lucky, you'll win.
And Poppy's won the Millinery Award. Now, Poppy, were you going to wear this hat again, or will it be on the mantelpiece as a token to your win?
No, I'll definitely wear it again. It is a winning hat, and it's going to remind me of this special day, and I want to enjoy it as much as I can, so I hope there's more sunny days like today.
Let's hope so. Sunny days ahead for these winners.
A Lavazza coffee on Ladies' Day.
Well, just having a coffee with a girlfriend. Jennifer Adams from 7 News. Jen, you look absolutely fantastic today.
Thank you, Frances.
Everyone keeps stopping you, wanting to know who dressed you.
Well, actually, Hanny dressed me, which she's an absolutely gorgeous girl. I might say dressed you as well, and you are looking absolutely stunning, but this is not the mutual admiration.
No, she's fantastic. What's your method of picking winners today?
I've had a look at a few fillies, but I don't like to get on till I see them in the mounting yard. Geez, you smell lovely too, by the way.
You must have something for me. Inside contacts?
No, not really. I got off to a good start today, back number 2. I can't remember the name of it, but my daughter said back number 2, so we got off to a good start, but it's been a little bit downhill since then.
Tom Williams, Oaks Day? It's all about the horses, isn't it?
No, I thought it was about the ladies. Isn't it a ladies' day? It is about the horses, but I can't back a horse to save myself at the moment.
Well, some people are having some luck, that's for sure. Bulla Borghese winning. Chris Muntz has come in to join us, and hats off to Chris. What an effort. Richard Freeman's been dreadful over the last 5 minutes. He's been playing with that chair up and down, up and down. You are one jockey that we are taller than, Chris, so we're pleased about it.
Yeah, I feel 6 foot now, though, don't worry.
Oh, absolutely. So you should. Was it? You only started riding this horse on Saturday in the Wakefield. Good timing.
Yeah, it was. Before the race, Ronnie Quinton had sort of said to me that he liked her and she was on the up, and he really thought that she was improving at the right time. So it was a good run after Saturday. She's only got beaten a neck for 4th, so and she'd improved over the weekend.
Any sympathy for those jockeys who've warmed her up for you and done all the hard work, and you've just jumped on race day and taken away the cash?
Well, I've educated her well anyway.
Treble rode her before you. Did he have anything to say today after the race?
Oh, he was a little bit surprised that she won as easily as she did, but you know, full credit to her. She's very tough. She's a tough mare, and I'm sure she's going to go on with it now too.
When did you think you had the race under control?
Probably, as corny as it may sound, probably as soon as I jumped out of the barriers, because I had such a great run, and she relaxed perfectly, and I knew from the half-mile on that she was going to be really strong, and I knew that she'd always keep finding.
She laid out a little bit in the last 20 metres, but not enough to interfere with the one outsider?
Not really. She was probably just getting that little bit tired, but I suppose she really had to be if she was entitled to. But look, full credit to her, she's very tough.
And how does she feel to you? Is she a filly that can go on and be a major contender again in the autumn, do you think?
Yeah, I've got no doubt. She's just going to get better with racing and maturity, and I've got no doubt that next year she could develop into your Cups type mare.
Do you reckon you've got the constitution to go on the party with these boys, because they will party hard?
No, I think they're a bit good for me. They're A-graders.
Those colours, the Podgornic colours, we've talked a fair bit about them today. They've had a lot of success in the past, haven't they?
They have, and there's a lot of history behind them, especially Ronnie Quinton riding for Mr. Floyd Podgornic for many years and being given the colours to train in. So it's a great honour.
Can I go back to Cox Plate Day just for a moment? You rode Defy behind Northerly and you were indisposed after that race. It must have taken a lot out of you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't so much the race, but I do suffer from asthma at times, and after that race, it really hit me quite hard, and it's just one of those unfortunate things that happened on that day.
Yeah, you don't smoke, do you?
No.
Because that'd snatch your growth.
Yeah.
You leave him alone. How tall are you, Chris?
No, that's my secret.
Good on you. Good on you. Well done.
A bit taller than Richard at the moment, anyway.
You know what?
Absolutely.
Racing's a funny game. One day you can be top of the world, the next
Get out of
minute,
that.
You leave him alone. You leave him alone. Thanks, Chris.
Good, thanks,
well
Richard.
done.
Thank you.
He knows what it's like to win a big race here. Chris Muntz, Jezebel in that Melbourne Cup, 1998, and today Bulla Borghese. Some good sprinters coming into the mounting yard here. This is a tough race to call, the Emirates Classic, in terms of who's going to win. I know there's a hot pot favourite, but here's Fauvelon, had an inoculation. He's going to Hong Kong to try and win the Hong Kong Sprint for the 3rd year in a row. Look, the only query I've got with him, and he's got a fantastic record, Richard, is that he's only won 1 out of his last 9 starts here in Australia.
Oh, gee, that's a hard knock on him because he's been a fantastic horse. I mean, OK, he hasn't won his race since he was in Doomben in May, but look, he never runs a bad race. He was a little bit crook at the Valley and he didn't run up to his best, but his run before that, first up in the Scalacci, was fantastic. I think he's a great little horse and I think he'll win here today.
I'll go on the record and say I wasn't knocking him. He is a great horse. Here's Mystigic. Last 3 starts, he's been 3rd to Spinning Hill. He's had 2 starts at Flemington up the straight, and he's been beaten by a narrow margin on both occasions.
He's the most consistent sprinter going around. He just gets on the pace and hammers away. He's got a really high cruising speed. I expect him to be up on the pace today, and he'll be giving at the end. He'll be right there. Whether he can hold them off, it just seems as though Spinning Hill and perhaps Fauvelon have had his measure recently.
Can Intelligent Star improve enough? Now, his 2 runs this time have been behind Rubertano. If Rubertano was in this race, he'd probably be favoured in front of Spinning Hill. It's just that weight for age, whether or not he's good enough to beat the others.
Under the weight for age conditions, he's carrying the same weight as Fauvelon, Mystigic, and he really, if it was a handicap, would be getting many, many kilos in weight from them. So he's disadvantaged under that scale. He ran very well in the Salinger, but that was under handicap conditions. And I think the step up to weight for age might just find him out today.
Belle de Jour, well, she ran 5th in the Salinger last year and won this race. She ran 5th in the Salinger on Saturday.
Well, it's a good omen, I suppose, but I don't think she's in the same sort of form this year that she was last year. I'm prepared to be convinced, but look, Rubertano's knocked her off the last 2 starts, and she really has never looked like beating him at any stage. She'd have to lift considerably, but she is talented. She is a Golden Slipper winner.
Well, speaking of talent, Spinning Hill's got a lot of that. She's won all the weight for age races this year in the spring. Clean sweep. Manicato, Scalacci sweeps. She's won a Lightning Stakes up the straight here. She is 1 racehorse and a half, this one.
She does like the straight here. She won a Lightning Stakes over the 1,000, but she did then go to the 1,200 metres of the Newmarket and run poorly. But I don't think there's anything in that. Arguably, she's the best sprinting mare we've ever seen, and I think that's a wrap in itself. She carries the 55 kilos, gets weight from the others, and she'll be very hard to beat if the pace is on.
Well, Guy Walters had a very strong spring, and he's the trainer. He's with Greg Radley.
Well, Guy, how does she look today?
I think she looks great, Greg. She's